Ladies and gentlemen, this first bout will be in the Pillow Fighting Championship welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands at 6 foot and weighed in at the welterweight weight. He is representing Sao Paulo, Brazil, Danilo Gurgel.
Proud of Sao Paulo, Brazil. The chance to host.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands at 5'8" and weighed in at the welterweight division. He represents West Palm Beach, Florida. He is Woodley Francois.
Absolutely, it's a composite material used here, so it does hit a little bit harder. And whoever sells our first ever takedown, and that is a point scored to Danilo Gurgel.
Yeah, Heather, I mean, I think we all had our ideas of what this was going to look like. But seeing the way this is going, this is a lot more violent than I think a lot of us expected. Okay, we had a 360 strike there. We also had a takedown early on. Woodley already trying to get those points back. Again, we're seeing the blocks. We're seeing the quick head movement of Danilo here. Well, and again, another 360 strike, Flobo.
Yeah, you can't really knock the speed of Gurgel, but you know Woodley is already in his head having to be taken down so early in this contest. You see a little bit of spice, a little bit of sauce with those strikes from him.
Yeah, Heather, what do you think is going through the mind of Woodley having gone down so early? It's definitely not the end of the fight for him, but mentally that's got to hurt.
There's still a lot of times. I think anything could happen in this pillow fight, just like boxing.
You don't judge pillow fight. Yeah, these two are going at it very seriously. Heather, you know, I've been in my fair share of pillow fights, but I've never been in a situation where I got hit quite like this.
I feel like if you got hit with one of these pillows, the way they're swinging, it would really do some damage.
Yeah, Flobo, you can hear the sound of each of these hits.
Yeah.
Each of these connections here. This looks painful.
Yeah, keep in mind it's not just the composite inside of the filling of the pillow. It's actually the angle that what you're being struck with. Your skin can get irritated. It can really be an abrasive attack. So you got to be on your P's and Q's way more than just blocking your temple from a strike.
What I find interesting is the one has sneakers on and the one is barefoot.
Well, let me ask you this, Heather. Do you think that gives one of them an advantage? I mean, do you think the grip of the tennis shoes is going to make a difference? Do you think the barefoot is the way to go?
I think doing anything in a sneaker will let me jump harder and hit stronger rather than being barefoot.
Well, Flobo, that's the end of the first round. Heather, we said it at the top here. This is our first time calling a pillow fight before, and again, I got to confess, I came into this thinking of it'd be one thing to see. It's definitely another as we see a massive shot.
Up in the air to swing this pillow.
You know, I got to say, I'm very impressed with the speed of Danilo here. He's able to dodge and hit those 360 swings so effortlessly here.
I am completely impressed how they backhand each other with the power that they have.
Flobo, I noticed you were taking note here of how Woodley got Danilo in the corner there and was able to get a few combinations in there. Do you think that's what he was looking for after the first round?
Absolutely. We saw right there, Danilo had a big strike that missed, and really that wind took a lot out of them, and I had enough time for Woodley to have a 3-strike advantage, and the ref was really on point to count that when it happened.
Now, do you think, as we're watching Danilo here, Flobo, he seems to be going for those 360 strikes more often than Woodley is? And now they get more points for the 360 strikes, but do you think maybe it's like he's going for the home run too often, maybe instead of going for the singles?
That's exactly what that is. You understand when you have a couple of those lands, you can really disorient your opponent. It's very, very attractive, but like a fastball down the middle, it is very easy to evade and knock it out of the park. And right now, I got to say, round 2 is all Woodley, and what a strike there to the body.
Yeah, another 360 strike there. Something I'm noticing, Heather, is Woodley's kind of spinning his pillow while he's holding it. He's not just letting it stay static, but he almost gets momentum going even when he's not ready to strike.
They're doing a lot of body. Oh, right there.
And
head. Okay, there it is.
Did you see that? It was almost like a fake out. He went one way and then spun the other. That was an incredible moment there.
He is boxing. Their hands are very hard down.
Well, this is something that I find interesting with Pillow Fighting Championship as we get another knockdown. Flo, this is what's interesting about the Pillow Fighting Championship is it doesn't matter if you block. If you get hit in the head, that's a point. And so to the point Heather you made about not keeping the hands up, really it's not necessarily a good thing to get the block. It's more important to dodge. And I think that's why we see Danilo keeping both hands down and keeping pivoting. I mean, it's definitely disorienting to get hit by something like one of those pillows. That's the thing, it's not maybe not like a bare knuckle that's going to split you open, but it's going to rattle your brain and make it very hard to stay oriented.
Well, absolutely that, but to be honest with you, because of the material and because how fast these strikes are, you do run the risk of breaking skin as well. So, yes, on the surface, the uninitiated, PFC sounds kind of a little bit odd, a little bit unorthodox, but you can tell first here, right here front row at IFL 7, how damaging those strikes can be.
As you see, both these fellas very light on their feet, moving around very quickly. And, you know, this is a boxing event primarily, but you see, as Heather mentioned, you see a lot of... Well, you definitely don't want to take the full-on shot to the face, but I think that's why they're moving around so much. And you definitely see a lot of parallels to boxing with this because of the dodge, the boxing, kind of watching the opponent's footwork here. Is Danilo in the corner, probably not the best place you want to be if you are one of these fighters.
The footwork is a little similar. However, they do spin around, and in boxing, you're never supposed to turn your back. So the spin is a little different for me.
Right. But it's one of those things, the spin it's what makes this so interesting to me because when I read that you get points for a 360 spin, I thought, well, that's impossible. You're not going to hit those. But both of these guys have been able to hit multiple 360 spins, and they've been able to turn direction mid-spin. It's actually incredible.
That's where they're getting their most momentum from is when they're doing that actual spin.
Now, Flobo, it's interesting as I watch this. And again, similar as we see a pillow get knocked out of the hands of Woodley. Now, Flobo, it makes you wonder, we're late into the fight, is this a situation where now we're going to see the differences of someone who's maybe taken the big shots versus someone who's racked up points with just the little shots?
Absolutely. Concentration and focus is always something you have to keep at bay, but put that with 2 rounds on being on a treadmill that seems to be going at an infinite speed, you saw a little bit of fatigue there. And when Woodley dropped his pillow, he had to make sure that it was gripped in a way that was sanctioned by the referee. Those kind of things happen when you're winded, and hopefully it doesn't become the undoing for him today.
Well, as I mentioned, the Pillow Fighting Championship, they've done a really great job of figuring out a way to create a rule set that allows this to stay as pillow fighting, but also make sure it's a competitive match that isn't just flailing around. And that was our 3rd round.
The judges have come to their decision by way of points, 36-30. Your winner from the red corner, Danilo D.